So, after watching Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, I thought why not make a fun versus video for the man's Aquaman and have him face the flying serpent god, Namor. I am only going to be talking about their DCEU and MCU counterparts. Okay, how I'm going to do this is pretty self-explanatory, describing their strength, their speed, durability, hacks, weaponry, and etc, relevant stuff to mention. Another thing is, to make this more fun to talk about, I'm gonna give my take on how things may go depending on the battlefield. Like them fighting in the ocean, a sunny desert, and an area where it's a mixture of both dry and wet, like a rainforest or something. And also, I'm going to be mentioning both versions of Justice League for Aquaman. So, hopefully, if you mess with the vid, with me watching the video of course, and if you agree with my upcoming take, definitely like the vid, subscribe to the channel, share the vid around to show a nice fun little video. And also, I do plan on making more of these in the long run, so subscribe. But alright, enough rambling, it's time to get started with Aquaman versus Namor. Who's the superior king? Alright, I'm gonna talk about Arthur Curry, aka AquaChad.
Yes, I said AquaChad.
I'm gonna talk about Aquaman first since he's easier to describe. Okay, so he's surprisingly very strong and durable from what is displayed and statement wise. He's able to lift up and bust up big structures. He's able to push a submarine upwards from the depths to the surface at a fast pace. His body is able to withstand the crazy amounts of pressure from the ocean, and he can endure landings from very high altitudes, from falls to a desert landscape to even falling through a building from those heights. Some cool stuff about his strength and durability is that he's decently comparable to Wonder Stripper.
Yes, I said Wonder Stripper.
I say comparable because both of them have their 1v1 against Steppenwolf in similar ways. Like, both gets to drop on them, they duke it out, doing really good, but then they get bodied. Also, Arthur can parry and be fine after blocking Steppenwolf's axe swings and kicks and stuff. That's pretty impressive because, do you remember that destroyed moon that was shown in the beginning of Man of Steel? Well, the director Zack Snyder states that moon was like that because of a doomsday, and it stated that Steppenwolf battled that doomsday. So, because of that, Arthur has that level of strength and durability. And something interesting for the theatrical cut, after Superman beats the brakes out of Steppenwolf and most definitely weakens him, the same Steppenwolf who got jumped by Zeus and Ares, Aquaman could damage and knock him away. And also, Aquaman is okay after getting punched by an angry resurrected Superman. I'm mentioning that because for this version, you need to be stronger than a planet to take on one Mother Box. And Zeus can break the Mother Box unity with his ranged attacks, and Steppenwolf could block that ranged attack along with his armor withstanding Ares attacks. But he was legit getting messed up by Superman. So, for the theatrical cut run, Aquaman's durability level is very high, because a punch from an angry resurrected Superman is definitely more stronger than a calm one. Now for speed. He's displayed to make sonic booms while traveling underwater. His combat and reaction speeds are in the light speed category, since he's shown combating Steppenwolf, being similar to Diana, and able to move his arms as Black Manta's plasma beams are coming at him. For his weaponry, he wields the Trident of Atlan, and that trident is made out of Poseidon steel, and it's way more powerful and sturdier than the trident he had in the Justice League movie. His brother Orm was able to break that trident from the Justice League movie in half, but his trident got shattered into pieces by the Trident of Atlan. In the Aquaman sequel, that trident basically obliterated the black trident that was filled with dark magical evil energy. Like, it just obliterated it. So that's crazy how powerful that trident is. Oh yeah, speaking of the sequel, I do want to throw out there that he possesses a camouflage suit. Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Alright, for his hacks and abilities, he has a control over water, like when he held off Gotham's harbor from flooding the tunnel. And he's able to make a water-bending, spinning type shield that can aggressively defend and repel attacks, like on some Neji 8 Trigrams palm rotation shit. Alright, with the aid of Atlan's Trident, his natural ability to communicate, control, and command aquatic life forms is basically amped stronger and to a worldwide range. Mans is able to make Orum's army of loyal sharks turn against him, and he's even able to command the trench creatures when he couldn't before. In the sequel, he's able to command whales, orcas, and other aquatic animals and have them synchronize their echolocation noise to the point of countering a submarine super sound wave weapon and blow it the fuck up. Somehow. That was crazy right there. I'm gonna get to that sound wave thing later, by the way. Alright, plus the Trident is shown to pretty much summon lightning and make an energy type explosive wave. And lastly now is his combat. Arthur was able to defeat his brother Orm in a fight, and he's displayed, he's literally displayed to be a very skilled and high ranked fighter of Atlantis and martial arts and Trident combat. And in the sequel's finale, Aquaman is able to go blow for blow against Black Manta, who was possessed by Atlan's brother Kordax, who technically should have a decent amount of combat experience. Another thing in the sequel, Black Manta and his goons has a submarine that exploits Atlanteans' kinda surprising weakness. I really didn't expect that, but their weakness of ultrasonic sound waves. But those sound waves were not normal. They were like an energy blast low-key, because it hit Aquaman so hard, it pushed him backwards. And after he got hit by that sound wave, his senses and strength were basically discombobulated. But then again, overall, Aquaman is pretty strong and durable, exceptionally fast, very skilled, and has some pretty good hacks and abilities. Alright, now talk about the MCU's first mutant, Talokan's king, Namor. So, I'ma go over Namor's strength last because his strength is actually insane, and I just want to save that for last. But okay, for his weaponry, he wields the Talokan's vibranium spear, or is it a trident? Spear or trident, whatever it is, but it's a vibranium spear or a trident. And he uses pressurized water grenades that packs a punch. He has the ability to fly. His biology lets him be fine in the crushing pressure of the depths of the ocean, and is not shown in our faces, but then again, it's kind of implied that he has some sort of command of aquatic animals and control over water. So yeah, a weakness displayed for him is also ultrasonic sound waves that made him, along with his army, swim up to the surface of the water. And he can get weakened when he's out of the water for too long, and when the water around him or on him is being evaporated. Alright, for his combat, the only time we legit see him throwing hands is against Shuri as the Black Panther. You know, after she weakened him by drying his ass out with them heaters. The thing about Shuri is that she has warrior paint, signifying that she's got efficient training in combat. But then again, I feel like he could have fought better if he wasn't fatigued / dehydrated, going off his top subordinate who took on Okoye, who's literally the top combative of Wakanda. It's pretty much common sense that she's the best in combat, so yeah. So maybe he can fight better. You know, since he's shown multiple times having great reflexes when he blocked and weaved incoming attacks from his blind spot and parrying multiple energy-based projectiles coming at him. Oh, speaking of that, his speed. Okay, so his speed was very tricky to figure out. Travel speed wise, I can have him in a Mach speed category, since Riri Williams in her Ironheart suit says that he's fast as he's flying upwards, but then she says she's faster, then flies so fast she's breaking the sound barrier to reach him quickly. Okay, so for his combat and reaction timing, he's easily way above the bullet timing category since he's parrying and weaving those energy-based projectiles, and the Dora Milaje was casually blocking bullets as they're being shot at them. The highest I can get him is up to okay. So Namor is lacking in speed, sadly. I tried to do some kind of chain scale to compare him to Okoye and Shuri's ranged gauntlet blast from other MCU movies to get him up there to at least lightning. Cause like Thanos at least was able to react and block Cap's lightning attack before getting overpowered. But then later, after the female characters gathered up, Shuri, Pepper, and Wasp was able to tag Thanos with their ranged weapons. But I couldn't count Shuri's cause her shit was dead last out of the three. And then I was gonna count Okoye's part when she speed blitzed and one-shotted Thanos' Black Order henchman. The same guy who's able to react and block Vision's range attack. I sadly can't overhype that speed-wise cause Vision was so weakened, Black Widow was able to tag that mofo faster than he could react. So like, damn. There's no other way to sugarcoat this. Namor's speed is ass, but what's not ass? His strength. Alright, now in the movie, M'Baku comments about Namor being as strong as the Hulk, which is really good. But an additional cool thing about his strength is what the director says. He says Namor is as strong as Thor in general and as strong as the Hulk underwater. Like, I don't want to discredit that, but unless there's something I'm missing, Hulk isn't that guy anymore. Like, there are so many other characters displayed to be above the Hulk now, and Thor in his latest movie is pretty cracked. All right, back to the Namor statement. So my take on that is that Namor is strong as fuck in general, like how Thor is always strong as fuck in general, and his strength pool is massive and doesn't go down because of the water replenishing him, like the Hulk's strength pool from his anger. Hopefully you like my basic ass take on that, but yeah, like it made sense, but at the same time it doesn't really make sense. I had to like get my own little take on it. But then again, Namor is freaking strong. Mans can easily cut through vibranium aircrafts, jab a spear through Shuri's high-tech vibranium nanotech suit, and he's able to punch through M'Baku's armor. What's cool about that armor is that it's stated to be just as strong as vibranium. Alright, I'm about to mention stuff that vibranium is shown to withstand. Avengers 1 Thor's hammer strike did nothing against Cap's shield. That Thor is strong enough to destroy like 1/3 of a planet with a strike. That hammer is able to knock out Iron Man in a suit above the previous one that can withstand the Power Stone. Thanos is able to hack and chop up Cap's vibranium shield, and I honestly forgot if this show's even canon or not, but I remember the Hulk can actually leave an imprint on vibranium, and it's like we got Namor doing stuff well beyond Thor, Thanos, and Hulk, but like beyond casually. It's just crazy. That's pretty much why I say his strength is actually insane. But okay, I am now done talking about Namor and obviously Aquaman. Now let's see how the fight will go. Okay, Namor is definitely way more stronger than Aquaman, even going by the theatrical cut for Arthur being above his 4-hour cut version. It's still not enough. Namor is just displayed to be way more stronger than Aquaman. For their combat skills, it sides more to Arthur. Like, Namor is obviously good at fighting and has great reflexes in the heat of battle, but Arthur's combat is more concrete in comparison to Namor. And now, for pretty much what throws this whole fight off is speed. Aquaman's speed to Namor is not even fair, which is why I thought of bringing up different environments to make this more fun to talk about. Okay, so for the environment being in a desert, Aquaman has a speed advantage, obviously, so Namor wouldn't be able to tag him, and over time he will get weaker and slower to the point that he can get damaged to overpowered. And something interesting to mention is if Namor, while he's in tip-top condition, if Namor gets a strike on at least the 4-hour cut run for Aquaman, he will get massively damaged to literally dying if he gets struck in a vital area. That version of Aquaman ain't taking that level of power unless, you know, you just want to go by the theatrical cut run, who can definitely take a hit from Namor. Another thing to mention is Aquaman would definitely brace himself or go out of his way to bob and weave Namor when he notices that Namor isn't a jobber. I say that because going off his reaction to Superman and in his fight against Orm and yada yada yada, like he's shown that if he knows that you're not weak, he'll brace himself and be like, okay, this not be a dumbass to get hit. And something I want to add on, since I did mention he uses those water grenades, he could probably just use those water grenades to try to replenish himself. But the thing is, he doesn't have like an infinite amount of that. He has like a small amount, so he'll eventually like run out. But then again, when Arthur notices that he's using the water to replenish himself, since he has shown he has a manipulation of water, he can probably just push the water away from Namor to make sure he doesn't like replenish himself. And then going off the fight between him and Shuri, per strike from Arthur, since strikes are weak, he could probably just get weaker per strike as well, while, you know, getting dehydrated over time because of the hot desert and stuff like that. Okay, so to be blunt, a fight between Namor and Aquaman in an environment such as the desert, Aquaman definitely takes a W in that. Okay, so for their fight that takes place in an environment that's both wet and dry, like I mentioned, like a rainforest, honestly, that fight would go 50-50. Like, Arthur could simply knock away all the water if he notices a connection between Namor and the water that's around him. What if Arthur tries to go trident to trident against Namor, or does his water bending 8 trigrams trident shield thing against Namor strikes? Namor should definitely be able to break through that defense since he's stronger. And you know, he has the water bombs that packs a punch. What if Arthur has his camouflage suit on? Or what if, since Namor could fly, he's shown he's pretty, you know, decent at maneuvering around things, what if he takes advantage of the environment, try to get some sneak attacks on Arthur, you know? Arthur is shown to pretty much get not completely fucked up by attacks that you don't see coming, but Namor is strong as hell, so you can probably do something against Arthur if he gets an off-guard hit on him. And, you know, etc, etc, etc. So to me, this fight in that type of environment can go either way. Okay, now for that fight that takes place in the ocean. This will be very interesting. So, Aquaman is still far faster, while Namor is still far stronger. But this is where their hacks and abilities will come into play. Like, if they were to try to bring in aquatic wildlife to aid them in battle, Aquaman has displayed a far stronger connection and can simply command all of them to help him out in the fight and also overrun Namor. And something interesting, since it is shown in the Aquaman sequel, it'll be interesting if Arthur commands orcas and whales and yada yada to surround Namor to synchronize their echolocations to discombobulate Namor. But then again, Namor isn't going to like stand still and let that happen and let himself get fucked up that way. So, but then again, that's something to note because Aquaman did do that in the sequel, you know. But when it comes to the winner though, it can honestly go into two ways: a legit way and a theoretical way. So the theoretical way is basically an instant GG, like Aquaman will win because of his ability to communicate and command sea life. Since Namor is technically part of that category, going off the way he was born, how he described his origin story to Shuri, Arthur could theoretically just take control over him with the help of his trident, boosting his natural ability to do that. But at the same time, I don't truly know, so I'm not going to just flat out and be like, yeah, GG, Aquaman wins. He commands him to like slit his throat or take control over him to be part of his army or whatever. Like I ain't gonna be all like that. So yeah. But the thing is, it is possible. Okay, for the legit way, it all depends on who can last the longest. Like, who outstaminas who? Okay, so now going off what the director said and my take on what he said, and for what is displayed in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie and the Aquaman movies, Namor can basically replenish himself for a long time since they are in water. Arthur has shown to get tired, and he isn't using the water to replenish himself like Namor. So like pretty much Namor can definitely beat Aquaman because I feel like he was just out stamina him, and while they are fighting in the ocean or a sea, once he does that, he's starting to take him out with his weapons and his strength and yada yada yada. And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure Namor could beat him because he'll just last longer. And Arthur, while tired, should definitely be, you know, his defenses should be weaker as well. Even as the theatrical cut, his defenses should be weaker, you know, so yeah. Plus, while he's getting tired, he's obviously getting slower. So pretty much Namor will take the W while they're in the water because of that replenishing thing. And it's not like it's going to be like a stomp, obviously. It's going to take some time for him to get the W. But then again, there are scenarios where Aquaman can win in the water. But more times than not, I think the W just size more to Namor because of that ability just to replenish water that way. Okay, so that was actually pretty fun to talk about right there. Hopefully, like my take on how the matchup would go and my overall description on Aquaman and Namor, because that was pretty fun to like do some extra research, learning what the director said for like learning about M'Baku's armor, because like I was wondering why the heck he said the Hulk, and then I looked it up why he said that, and the armor was just strong as vibranium, so like that was pretty cool to learn right there. And Namor and stuff like that, and then doing comparisons to like other movies to make both Aquaman and Namor as strong as possible and fast and stuff. That was pretty fun right there. And if you hadn't subscribed though, and, you know, like check out the channel. I have a variety of videos uploaded. And also, if you don't agree with my take, hey, let me know if I got anything wrong or just simply disagree and all that good stuff. So alright, so I'm about to, like, you know, stop my rambling. But yeah, hope you like the video and all that good stuff. Share it around if you want to. And yeah, so have a good one, and that's the video.